What are signs that someone is secretly unhappy?
Tired. If they aren't sleeping well, oftentimes something is keeping them up. Also, tiredness is a commonly used excuse to answer "Are you okay?" Lots of physical illnesses can cause severe fatigue. It's combined. People call you lazy when you are sick. It took me a very long time to realize that anger is one of my first responses to depression. I feel like we imagine those gray blobs from the commercials that are listless and distracted and sad, but for me, unchecked depression expresses as anger. I can't believe the stupidity around me. I give no one the benefit of the doubt. I assume everything is a slight and preemptively expect slights. As you can imagine, it's utterly exhausting and terrible to be around. Then I lost enough friends, realized I needed to change, got therapy out of my own choice for the first time, forced into it as a kid many times, changed my responses to things, got on medication, and now it takes a lot to get me angry. A lot. The weird part for me is that anger seems to be my replacement for depression. The meds I'm on do actually feel like they help. I don't get that muted sense of life where I'm floating through it meaninglessly and constantly questioning why I bother. Now, instead of getting upset or sad, I just get frustrated and angry. I think it's because I was depressed for most of my life and I just don't know how to cope without it. It sucks because I spent years getting my childhood teen anger under control, and I had to trade that control to get rid of my depression. I feel this. I've destroyed multiple relationships this way. I'm currently not in a good place with myself because of my shitty behavior. I'm trying really hard to snap out of it, but I just keep regressing back into the short-fused, cynical asshole. They have nothing to talk about or don't give any opinions. It's a sign that nothing excites or interests them. I get kinda sick of always choosing and planning dates for my BF and I and always choosing what food and what to do. I wish he would just take charge sometimes. He always says I'm happy no matter what we do, but I'd be happier if he did something for me. The most significant part of all of these is a change. If the person has just always been that way, maybe it's something else, but when a normally upbeat person hasn't seemed to care about anything lately, that's a sign. There's an important distinction to be made here though. People with even mild social anxiety, which is a lot of us, may be interested in a lot of things and have lots of opinions, they just don't dare to say them because of the fear of being wrong or nobody else sharing the same interests. This is especially true while being with a group of more than 4 people. Only the most extroverted people take up most of the space at that time. So it definitely doesn't always mean they're not happy. I prefer to listen to people and just chime in every now and then. Not finding pleasure in activities they used to enjoy. Persistent low mood. Problem sleeping. Regression, isolation, short fuse around loved ones. Always tired or not feeling well when asked to do something. Boredom from things that used to entertain. There are lots of signs. I've been depressed for a while now and have been reluctant to talk to a psychologist, so I'm not the best guy to dish out advice. It might be time to seek help if you're doing the things listed above, or developing habits you think are unhealthy, like not wanting to get out of bed on a day off, smoking lots of weed, avoiding basic responsibilities, missing work, and then feeling like an asshole, longing for the past, constant disassociation, daydreaming. You don't even need to talk to a psychologist or a therapist to get over some of these things if they're just starting to feel them. Confiding in a close friend or a family member could steer you straight. If you've been feeling like this for a while though, you're like me, and it's time to get real help. This post alone is forcing me to rethink going to therapy, might make a call tomorrow. Been this way for 9+ years now and I've honestly forgotten how anything else feels like. Thought I was over my depression after stopping feeling like so shit all the time, but it seems like it has just become the norm now, not caring for things. I literally have no enthusiasm or interest in anything now and thought that was just a part of getting older. Honestly, it's not the feelings that change, it's the situation. You will feel like shit until you start accomplishing something. Pick a goal and hit it like Mike Tyson. Whether that's going to the gym, playing an instrument, finishing a book, it doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you did something, and even though it was a slog and you didn't want to leave your house, you did it. Depression often causes lethargy, which causes more depression due to a lack of perceived accomplishment. Also, realize that life will have its ups and downs. Not every day is sunny, but goddamn does it feel good to run in the rain sometimes. They stop engaging in hobbies and activities they used to love. As someone who is currently very unhappy, they want to have alone time way more than they usually do. Withdrawal from social life. Overthinking/anxiety over small decisions. Procrastination. Not wanting to put effort into relationships. I call it my bubble. I'm not going out of my bubble or making an effort out of my bubble or driving out of my bubble. No people in my bubble. It's just my tiny life, which is in no way bad or hard. It's quite comfortable really, in my bubble. Alone in my withdrawn bubble. I think this is the best way for me to recognize my depression. I'm so much more sensitive to the smallest mistakes. I can sob because my shower isn't warming up. It just feels like the worst thing is everything. This was me a while back. The problem is that on the outside to everyone you are seen as a solid rock. Why would they ask if you are okay if you appear okay? Like a car that needs a part replaced soon, the part still functions but it's falling apart and needs to be replaced soon, but if it never gives off a warning you'll never know it needs to be fixed. It's not that people don't care, frankly most people don't, but there is someone who does and will care. Even if it's not family or friends, really if family or friends don't care you should probably not tell them, someone out there does. Some people are incredibly observant and can pick up on your subtle hints that you are not okay. Most people are blind as moles digging their own tunnel and unless you put yourself there they will never see you. At least that's how I ended up getting out of that funk. I really hope this helps put the situation in perspective cause I have been there and I know it feels gut-wrenching to think no one cares about you. They're tired all the time, say they're fine or okay with no elaboration when you ask, sigh a lot, space out a lot, seem distracted, don't seem to enjoy anything. I'm not saying everyone who does this has clinical depression. If you feel that you might have a problem, talk to a professional. I wrote this list based off of how I act at work. I have severe depression, ADHD, and complex PTSD. I know that all of this can spring from any of those, something else, or it can be nothing except normal boredom or detachment. I hope you all feel better. Sucks that so many people are so down on themselves.